Hi, Aries. Welcome to your monthly reading for September 2025. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Laura, aka Baby Curl Tarot. I'm a tarot reader, astrologer, and root worker. And I love doing monthly readings for all these zodiac signs here on YouTube, as well as some other fun content over on TikTok and Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and jump right on into your reading. Keep in mind, this is a general message, so whatever comes up, comes up. Also, please don't try to force a message to fit your particular situation. If it's not hitting and it's not resonating, it's probably just a message for another Aries. All right, let's get into it. Spiritual team, Untamed Elemental, what messages do you have for the Aries collective at this time? What messages do you have for the Aries collective at this time? Also, Aries, if you come across this reading a year from now, a couple months from when I'm posting this in September 2025, that's fine. If the message hits for you then, it was meant to find you at a later time. My readings are pretty timeless. They're not super specific. So if you find it, you didn't miss out on anything. The energy is just catching up to you. Okay. Let's see. We have the peacock. Love that. And at the bottom of the deck, we have sky. All right, let's go ahead and get into this guidebook and see what messages come up for these cards. They're really in depth and I just don't have these memorized, so I want to make sure I'm getting you guys all the messages you want and need for your reading. So give me just 1 second. All right, so Peacock invites you to take in information or circumstances, both negative and positive, and alchemize them into a harmonized, energetic field that blesses your life. To do this is to master the art of transmutation, and it requires accepting your pain with as much love and gratitude as you do your happiness. When you do this, you begin to experience everything in life as happening for you rather than to you. Your travails become a gateway to greater freedom and beauty with the application of loving awareness. Everything is energy just waiting to be liberated into a more authentic expression of itself. Very interesting. Okay, I dig it. Let's see what Sky is about. Okay, Sky offers advice to practice discernment when it comes to believing your own thoughts and the thoughts of others. Thoughts are mercurial, mutable, and transient. We empower them to become reality when we join them with our emotions. The union of thought and feeling is how we shape our worlds to make room for fresh potential and luminous inspiration. It is important to declutter your mind on a regular basis. Doing so will provide you with great lucidity and open the door to your own sky-like expansiveness. Welcome the boundless opportunities. Love this for you guys, first and foremost. Second most, this is what I'm picking up. Things are happening, things are changing. In Aries, what I think Spirit is trying to call attention to is how you react to things, okay? I don't want to be that reader that's like, just stay positive and just believe that everything works out for a reason. That's all good and dandy, but we're human beings and we have feelings. Okay, listen. I'm someone who recently decided to switch careers and I took a huge leap of faith. And it was really hard. It was really scary and gave me a lot of anxiety. I'm not telling you that when negative things happen to you, just to be grateful, because it is bullshit. It's scary. You need to feel your feelings always. If you are scared, if you are sad, if you are mad, you need to feel those feelings. You need to release them by going through those emotions. That's the only way you can really get to the mindset of like, okay, this sucks right now, but I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make sure I'm making the most of this time, whether that is job hunting or going to school or brushing up on skills that are super important for whatever the situation is, or, you know, your relationship ended. Okay, so what can we learn from it? How can we do better in our next relationship? All of those things go into, yes, these are lessons, these are part of your journey. It's not the end of your story. But I also want to preface all of that with saying, yes, things will work out and things will manifest the way they need to, but you still need to feel the feelings. I don't promote toxic positivity here on this channel. I don't do that. We're humans. I get mad, I cuss people out, I do that. As a spiritual person, I do that. So you need to feel your feelings. First and foremost, that is part of the healing process. If you need to sit in bed and cry for a day or two, do that. Okay. It will get easier over time as you work through those feelings. Say the things, vent to your friends, vent to your journal, whatever it is. You got to go through that process in order to get to the gratitude and to the excitement about the potential of new opportunities. It's a natural process. I don't want you people out there skipping the process. I don't want you skipping steps to get to the gratitude or to the optimism about what's coming next, because that will lead to spiritual psychosis and ultimately disappointment for a lot of people when things don't go the way that they were expecting or want them to, you know? So please, 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 if you listen to anything I said, go through the feelings. Feel the feelings, go through the process. Let's get into the tarot and see what is going on. Spiritual team, Black Tarot, what messages do you have for the Aries collective at this time? What messages do you have for the Aries collective at this time? Okay, let's see what's going on. We have the Daughter of Wands. Okay. We have the Eight of Wands. Okay. We have the Emperor in reverse. Six of Coins. Devil in reverse. Okay. And what's at the bottom of the deck? 10 of Wands reversed. 4 of Baskets. Ace of Coins reversed. Chariot. Ace of Knives. Okay. So I see some good things. I see some difficult things. I see some challenges. Okay. Some of you guys may have made a very impulsive decision. Aries. Maybe you didn't really think this one through. Maybe you made this decision out of anger, out of frustration, out of like, fuck this job, I'm out. It's kind of a vibe. It's just finally like one day, straw broke the camel's back, and you're like, peace, bye, fuck everybody. I don't know. But ultimately, what I'm getting is like, you had to. Personally, for me, what I'm feeling with this is like something was toxic enough to push you out and say, look, it's not giving what it needs to give. Right now, I'm giving more to the situation than whoever else is involved, whether this is a job, whether this is a relationship, a apartment complex, I don't know. But you had enough and you dipped and you're like, F this, I'm going to go find what I actually deserve with the Six of Coins. Something that's going to give equal give and take, or at least just more fair. You know what I mean? So that's the decision. I feel like a lot of you guys are freaking out now. A lot of you guys are freaking out a little bit, or you could start freaking out if you're still at the beginning of this. Some of you guys may be very happy and you may feel unburdened. You may feel very unburdened with this 10 of Wands in reverse. You're like, finally, I am free. I don't have to deal with the stress of this anymore. I can go do whatever I want. And my Aries people, you can be very, very discerning to the point where you get hyper focused on what it is that you want, and you just turn down opportunities that you don't think are a right fit for you, which I'm not saying is incorrect. I think a lot of you are very discerning in recognizing that this Ace of Coins is in the reverse, which means it's not going to bring you what it is that you want. It's not going to succeed. It's not going to take root. It's not going to grow the way you want it to grow. It needs to feed your soul. And this is junk food. Okay? Does that make sense? So as you guys are driving through this new chapter of your life or this transition phase, there may be moments where you are freaking out and you're like, I don't know if I have the faith to pull through. I might have to settle for something like this until I can get to where I want to go. Maybe you will have to settle for a short period of time, for a temporary time. But ultimately, what I'm getting here, Aries, is you are really going to have to find a way to master your mindset You're really going to have to master your mindset. And for a lot of you, unfortunately, it's going to mean that you are going to have to just freak out a little bit and just recognize, like, hey, this is crappy, but I'm also not going to give up. I'm going to keep the faith. I'm going to keep believing that there is something out there for me until it aligns and it actually shows up and manifests. And a lot of you guys, I think, are really great manifestors. So speaking things into existence, I think that was part of the sky card that I read. What you say and what you think is really going to be shaping your reality, probably over the next few weeks, months, however long it's going to take to resolve this. I think you're going to start to see signs. I think you're going to start to have downloads. You're going to start having realizations about things and start noticing things lining up. And when you start seeing those things lining up, that's when you know that you've mastered that mindset. Okay? But Aries, again, I'm going to be just real honest. Do not try and stuff those feelings down. Two of coins in reverse. Do not try and stuff these feelings down. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. Okay? What you want is possible, but you also are human and you need to feel the things that you're going through right now. Okay? Life is difficult. It happens. Okay? But it's not going to be that way forever. So I just want you to remember, hey, not everything, it's not all bad. It's bad right now. It feels bad. It feels scary. But it's okay to feel that way as long as we keep moving and keep pushing towards the goal. Okay, Aries, that's what I'm seeing for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and close out your reading with a couple of oracle decks. And Aries, I know these are pretty short readings in the beginning of the month, but if you want a longer reading, please engage with this video in some way, like, comment, let me know that you want to see more for your sign. I do bonus readings for the top 3 zodiac signs that engage with my content in the middle of the month, and I do both a general reading and a love reading, so it's a 2-for-1 special. All right, so if you want that, engage. Thank you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close out your reading. Spiritual team, ancestor, spirit, oracle cards, what additional messages do you have for the Aries collective at this time? What messages do you have for the Aries collective at this time? By the way, Aries, I just want to let you know, I wasn't going to say anything, but I feel like it's important for you guys to know. As I was saying what I was saying about, like, things happening, I literally got a text message from someone asking for a reading. So I think there are opportunities, and that kind of just confirmed it for me, for you guys. Like, there's opportunities out there. If you're starting a business, if you're going to a new career, if you're transitioning somehow in a big way in your life, there are opportunities. And as soon as you align mentally with that and continue to persevere and be consistent, you're going to see things start to trickle in slowly and surely. Okay? Let's see what you guys got. We have respect your physical body, detox, rejuvenate, and relax. And sometimes you got to sit at home and cry in bed and do nothing. And just recognize that your body is also, like, decompressing from being under stress and being in situations that are toxic. And that is also part of the process. You have to relax and release all of that tension and all of that negativity that's been bottled up and being held and stored in your body as trauma. You got to learn how to release that. And sometimes that takes months, especially if you've been, like, at a job for years and you've been putting up with stuff. Ooh, let me tell you, been there, done that. Still going through it, still decompressing, but I feel a lot better, honestly, and it is worth it. So you got to listen to your body and not try to push through. Again, if you feel exhausted, if you feel like you are in need of some rest, take that as a sign of you need to rest. Next up, you have back to basics. Simplify, reduce, and center. Oh my gosh, I love that. And you know what? The simplify and center for me can be our emotional regulation as well. A lot of people try to say, like, oh, breathing, breath work, meditation, all of that is really good for recentering and balancing. Sometimes having a good cry and eating ice cream is also recentering. And I'm not even joking. Sometimes you gotta cry. Sometimes you gotta be pissed off. Sometimes you gotta go punch a punching bag. I don't know. Like, I don't condone violence, but a punching bag is an inanimate object and you can punch the crap out of it and not go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Let it out. That is also recentering. That is the whole point of being human. We are meant to feel emotions. Okay? I know I've been harping on that for a long time throughout this reading, but I just wanted to let you know. Finally, at the bottom of the deck, we have be an open channel, mediumship, ancestors, and spirits. I love this. You want to know why? Because being an open channel also means that you are open to collaborating with your spiritual team and manifest and hear advice and receive feedback and insights and realizations from your spiritual team. I have never been more in tune with my spiritual team until this year, when I really started letting go and making things try to fit spiritually. It's so easy to get into spiritual psychosis and think that this whole experience is grander than yourself, like your spirit guides, your ancestors, and they're grand and they're mystic and all of that, but it also needs to be grounded. And I think that was a message for Virgo as well. Manifestation seems to be a theme for September 2025 because a lot of zodiac signs are getting very similar messages in terms of like aligning with your goals, aligning with your manifestation power, with your methods, whatever, but also staying grounded and rooted in reality and working through the human connection to our spiritual team and the energies that are out there so that we can move them and manipulate them and align with them the way that we need to, in a way that aligns with our greater purpose and our soul. Okay, Aries? It's a lot of big words, I know. A lot of big spiritual terminology, but bottom line is like, don't be afraid to be open. And that also means being open to not being perfect in this transition period. I hope that makes sense. All right, let's close this out with your final deck. Spiritual Team Fortune or Tea Leaf Fortune cards. What final messages do you have for the Aries Collective at this time? What final messages do you have for the Aries Collective at this time? All right, nothing from this half of the deck. Let's switch over. Oh, there we go. Okay, what final messages do we have for the Aries Collective, Spiritual Team, Tea Leaf Fortune cards? Now they're jumping. What final messages do you have for the Aries Collective at this time? Okay, I think that's good. Let me find the one that fell over on the floor. 1 second. Okay. Let's see what we got. We got the flying bird. News is on the way. And honestly, this Ace of Knives could very well be a message, a job offer, something. So I feel like there is a perfect fit out there for you guys. As long as you keep pursuing and persevering, you're going to get there. Okay. We got the lobster, financial pinch. Yeah, I felt like a lot of you guys quit your jobs or have come into a situation where finances are not that stable. We have the dog, protection from a powerful friend. I feel like it's a very specific message for some of you. Some of you need to watch who you talk to. And that is also a theme that's been coming up in these readings this month. Some of you guys really need to be careful about who you share information with, because sometimes that negativity or toxic positivity or toxic behavior or thought patterns also come from the friends and people you surround yourselves with. It doesn't even have to be friends, it could be your own family. Okay, we have the heart, love, deep affection, and caring. I see this as caring and deep affection for yourselves, but this also could be for those of you where this is a romantic connection that you recently separated from, that is something that you're trying to move towards. We have the bow. You are highly thought of. I love that. That to me just is confirmation that you guys are capable of achieving whatever. You have a good reputation. So there really isn't anything stopping you. It's just figuring out really what aligns for you personally. Then we have the rabbit. Too much concern with sexual matters. Okay. I don't know what that's about. I didn't see that. But maybe some of you guys are a little too frisky right now. You need to be focusing on other things. I don't know, maybe that's a coping mechanism some of you guys have instead of dealing with your emotions. I'm so sorry. The leaf blower, my mortal enemy, is right outside my window. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up your reading right here, Aries. Please leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed the reading. If you resonated with it, I would love to know more. Leave a comment and engage, like I said. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos from me in the future. And don't maybe share this with another Aries if you feel like it would resonate for them. If you want to see more content from me, I'm also on TikTok and Instagram. You can find my handles below in the description box. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. I hope to see you guys at the next reading. And until then, please take care of yourselves. Bye.